Almost all my work begins with white fabric or paper. Then I use a variety of techniques to transform the cloth or paper. My earlier work focused on shibori, a Japanese resist dyeing technique. I've also done quite a bit of snow dyeing, a technique where you pour dye through snow onto the fabric below. This results in a plethora of colors and crystallized patterns that cannot be achieved in any other way. More recently, I've been using paper and fabric combined, or paper alone. After transforming the fabric or paper, I collage it onto a background substrate. Most of my work is heavily machine quilted or embroidered, adding another layer of texture and interest.
Here are some plates that I made using porcelain with colorants added. The patterns are not applied on the surface, but run through the clay, so they are visible on both the front and the back. The process is really arduous, and there are so many ways for it all to end in disaster. That's why I've included the image of the shards, an all too common reminder of failure. So it's really incredibly rewarding when a piece makes it successfully through all the hoops.
I've had fiber in my hands ever since I made a Christmas tree ornament in kindergarten. After a BA in Anthro, I gravitated to the fine arts and fiber art. I posted these 5 quilts to illustrate my evolution from earlier work that often used 50 to 60 colors, as in Red Volunteer, through minimalist color fields using 3 colors, like primary colors, to no dyed color at all, as in white goods, and finally to translucent quilts where a phantom secondary layer shows through the white top layer, as in Translucent Volunteer. In 2017, I turned to weaving as a beginner, and I continued to build skills in that rich and complex field.
I've loved to paint since earliest childhood. It's kept me centered through all the ups and downs of career and life. Painting opens up the hidden world, making me slow down and wonder. The intense concentration for coordinating hand and eye in object painted, or in abstract work, concept painted, changes my apprehension. Why I choose one color or line is often a mystery, stemming from both emotion and conscious decision. An adventure unfolds as forms not preconceived emerge. I hope the viewer experiences some of this when viewing my paintings.
As some like to say, quilters cut up perfectly fine fabrics and then sew them back together again. Here's one example that I began during the early phase of the pandemic. The muted side represents the wilderness with diagonals of sun and sky. These give the quilt a lot of movement. I know I certainly wanted to get out of our viral wilderness as soon as I could. The brighter colors on the reverse side express what I expect the celebration of our new normal will feel like, at least at first. The process of designing and stitching this quilt gave me a much-needed respite during this prolonged crisis.
I've been creating art in many different ways for more than 50 years. Always some studio art, drawing, painting, collaging, but probably more effectively, various kinds of public art. Site-specific installations, both temporary and permanent, and currently community engagement projects in which I come up with the ideas and others participate, both by expanding the idea and adding particular elements. Many examples of all these appear on my website, janegreengold.com.